Good morning. Hayom Yom, Chof Zayin Nissan, the 12th day of the Omer. So today's Hayom Yom is taken from a mimer that the Friediker Rebbe said in the year 1941. And over there, he said something very, very interesting. He said that physical illnesses are reflective of and teach us about spiritual illnesses, illnesses of the soul. And he explains that there are two kinds of human illnesses. There are illnesses that are very extreme. They're obvious threats to our health. And because of that, people right away will go to a doctor, they'll right away get treatment, they'll try to fix it and combat it, and often they will successfully overcome these illnesses. But then there are other kinds of illnesses that are much more mild. No big deal. If you would go to a doctor, you can get treatment 1, 2, 3. But because they're so simple, because they're so mild, people often don't take them seriously, and people don't get treatment. And it grows, and it festers, and it blows up, and before you know it, these are the things that actually end up killing people. So he said, ironically, it's the obvious threats that don't get to us because we fight them, we keep them in check. And it's the not such obvious threats, it's the mild threats that end up killing us because we don't give them the attention they deserve. And he said the exact same thing is with our spiritual health, with our emotional, mental, and spiritual health. There are things in our life, there are things in our environment, there are things in our lifestyle that are obvious spiritual threats. We realize that these things are bad for us, they're destructive, they're going to destroy us. And those things we try to distance ourselves from, we try to fight them, we try to get them out of our life. There's other things that we said that are much more subtle evils, and they are slowly killing us, they're slowly eroding us from within, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, and we don't even realize it, we don't even fight it. And those are the real threats. Those are the things that are really going to eat us up and destroy us. And to explain, he introduces a concept from the Tanya, which is that people often think, Jews often think, that what it means to be a bad person, what it means to klippa, what it means to be a bad person, is to basically engage in things or to do things that are obviously bad, obviously unhealthy, obviously destructive behaviors. Behaviors and actions that are outside the parameters of Torah. Things that the Torah forbids, things that are bad, destructive things, that's what it means to be a bad person. As long as you stick within the parameters of Torah, as long as you stick within the guidelines of Torah, as long as you keep halacha, and are a Torah-observant Jew, you live within the beautiful guidelines of Torah, then since everything you're doing, all the actions you're doing are good actions, they're good, normal, healthy human activities, good, normal, healthy human actions, you are a good person. You are a healthy person. And the Alter Rebbe says this is not the case. This is a misconception. You could be someone who fully keeps the Torah, A to Z, and still be a bad person, still be an unhealthy person. Because what it means to be bad, what it means to be unhealthy, is to be someone or something that its sole purpose in life is to serve itself, to make itself feel good. It doesn't care about and is not mindful about anyone around it, about anything around it, about the environment about it, about God. The only thing it's mindful of, the only thing it focuses on, the only thing it cares about is itself and making itself feel good. And everything around it, it uses to make itself feel good. So he says, such a person, even if they don't engage in or do any obviously destructive bad behaviors, they don't break the Torah, they only do things that the Torah allows and in fact the Torah encourages. They live a normal life, they have human relationships, they eat, they sleep, they do all kinds of recreational activities, whatever, maybe anything under the sun, all the normal human things that a human would do. He says, if the reason that person does all these things, if the reason this person lives a normal, healthy human lifestyle is just because that's what will make them feel good, all the things in their life they do because it makes them feel good, that is the meaning of evil. That is the meaning of living for yourself, of being a selfish person, just serving yourself, not thinking of anything or anyone else. He says a person, everything they do, whatever it may be, everything has to be done with the intention of serving other people, of serving the people around me, of serving my environment, of serving God. That all these actions will facilitate actually the service of God. If I'm healthier, then I'll better be able to serve my family, my community, and God. If I'm happy, I'll better be able to serve my family, my community, and God. And actually, the Friediker Rebbe just elaborates on this concept a little bit and says the source of it is actually from a passage in the Talmud. The Talmud there is discussing the forbidden incestuous relationships, because incest is obviously against the Torah. But the Torah only forbade a couple of incestuous relationships. The rabbis, the Chachamim, came and expanded it a little bit. They stretched it a little further. They expanded the forbidden incestuous relationships. And the Talmud asks why. And the Talmud explains they did it because of a concept known as Kadesh Atzmcha B'Motilach, which basically literally means that although certain things are permissible by the letter of the law, you don't have to do everything that you're allowed to do. Not everything that's permissible you need to do. even the things that are mutalach, even the things that are by the letter of the law allowed, Kaddish Atzmacha, bring yourself extra holiness by being even more stringent than the letter of the law and forbidding things that are permissible. But this concept of Kaddish Atzmacha b'mutalach was expanded upon by Chassidus and by the Alter Rebbe to mean that all the things in your life that are not necessarily Torah things, that are not necessarily mitzvahs, that are not holy, bring holiness to them. Bring meaning to them. Everything in your life should be imbued with meaning and holiness and goodness. Everything in your life should be done mindfully and should enable and facilitate and serve a higher purpose. If you're a healthy, normal human being, you will better be able to serve your family, your community, and God. But nothing should be done just because it makes me feel good, just to pleasure myself. That is the meaning of evil. That is the meaning of serving yourself. And people don't realize, says the Friediker Rebbe, that this is an evil. People think evil is engaging in obvious, destructive, bad behaviors, so people stay away from that. But this kind of evil, people don't identify as an evil, and this evil actually says is destroying people, and erodes people from within and kills them emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And the example the Friediker Rebbe gave, which is very, very interesting, so it was 1941 at the time, and beards were very, very unpopular in America. You couldn't really have a beard and hold a normal job. And because of that, because of the social pressure, a lot of Jews and a lot of Jewish authorities were finding all kinds of ways that one could permissibly shave, where you could shave within the guidelines of halacha. Without breaking halacha, you could shave. And the Friediker Rebbe said, not getting into whether it's actually permissible or not, or if these heterim work or not, even for argument's sake, let's say you do find a way that is halachically permissible to shave. He said, ask yourself, what is the motive behind shaving? What is the motive behind not having a beard? Is it because by not having a beard, you will better be able to serve your family, community, and Hashem? Or is it to make yourself feel good? Is it to fit in and give into the social pressure? And he said, since the answer is obviously the latter, that means you're doing it for yourself. That means it's an evil. And he said, this is an evil which is destroying people spiritually. He said, this evil is eroding communities from within, and he said it's going to lead, and it is leading, to the actual violation of Torah, to actually eventually engaging in things that are obviously bad, obviously unhealthy, obviously destructive behaviors. Now the Rebbe in his diary just elaborated on all this a little bit, and he said, all of human history has been for one purpose. All of our lives are for one purpose, and that is to bring Moshiach, to make a dir b'tachtayim, to bring the Moshiach finally. So he said a person has to ask themselves, and the way you bring Moshiach is obviously through being the best Jew you can be, through keeping Torah mitzvahs. So a person has to ask themselves at every moment and everything they do in life, is this thing I'm doing bringing Moshiach or facilitating something that will bring Moshiach or not? And if it is good, if not, then what are you doing? So have a wonderful day, and Moshiach now.